Hey bookworms, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Sam, and in today's video I'm going to be reading 2023 romance releases. So I've picked 4 books here that are relatively new. I feel like most of these books came out this month or last month. So yeah, let me just show you what books I plan to read. First up is Begin Again by Hetty Acton. I read her book The Shelf and I absolutely loved it. And then I read her book The Couple. Didn't love it as much, but this one sounds absolutely perfect. So I just knew I was going to have to read this one for this video. Then we have another book that I am so excited for. This is from the author who wrote The Dead Romantics. And I really enjoyed that book. It's very different to other romances, so that is The 7-Year Slip. This one sounds amazing. It's probably the one I'm most excited to read out of all of these books. Next up is another new release. I believe this came out June, July, maybe. I think in the UK it did come out in June. I could be wrong. But that is You With a Few. This is a YA romance, and I believe it's like a road trip sort of romance, which, oh my god, it's so perfect to read during the summertime. Saying that, it's actually raining outside right now. So, yay! But saying that, I do like reading when it's raining. So the final book on this list is a book I've been seeing talked about a lot. It's got some mixed reviews. People either gave it a 3-star, they've enjoyed it but not loved it, or they've been giving it 5 stars. So I had to go and pick it up. I actually ordered this recently and it came about 2 days ago, and that is Will They or Won't They? I'm actually really excited for this one as well, to be fair. I'm being honest, I'm excited for all of these. So these are the 4 romance books I'm going to read for this video. I'm going to kind of do it like a reading vlog if I can, but I am going to go and start off with Hetty Acton's Begin Again, and I will let you guys know my thoughts when I've read a little bit. Good morning guys, I am officially on part 3. I think I'm about 50ish, 60ish pages in, and I'm really enjoying this so far. So in this book we're following a character called Frankie, who ends up dying while she's eating a cup of apple. She ends up slipping on it and she dies. Damn, that is a way to go. Like, I definitely would not want to die that way. Like, that's kind of embarrassing, right? So anyway, when she comes to, she's in this room, she doesn't quite know what's going on, and then suddenly she's like seeing like her life literally flashing before her eyes. She's getting all these different clips that she sort of regrets being shown to her. She thinks that, okay, she's probably in a coma, she's dreaming, and then she wakes up at a train station. And now at this point there's loads of people, so she thinks, okay, I'm definitely having a nightmare. However, she's told that she must find a name on the board, and that name... Oh my god. She's told that she must find her name, which would then tell her what room she's in. So she goes and does this, and she meets a character called Mabel, who's sort of like a guide here, and tells her that this is a second chance. Like, yes, she's kind of dead, so like sort of in between, but she's going to be given a second chance. Of course, Frankie just thinks this is like all in her head. She's definitely dreaming, this can't be happening, but she goes along with it. And she's told that there are 4 moments in her life where she's at crossroads, where she could have chose one or the other. And now she gets to relive each of these for 24 hours to see what would happen if she would have, for example, said yes to the proposal, if she'd taken that one-way flight. And honestly sounds like really fun, because I think we've all had those questions in our head of like, what if we had chose differently? What if we had done that? What if we said yes? What if we said no? And this book sounds like it's going to be like a lot of fun. It really reminds me a little bit of the Midnight Library. So if you guys did enjoy the seriously. If you guys did enjoy the Midnight Library, then you probably would enjoy this one. This one feels like a little bit lighter though, like with Midnight Library, it does deal with a character who commits suicide, and it's a bit heavier on that topic, where this one is definitely like a lot lighter, a lot more fun. Like I said, I'm only on part 3, we're just getting to the part where she's about to go and relive one of her choices for 24 hours. I believe it's the one if it was a one-way flight, and I cannot wait to see how this plays out, what would have happened. So yeah, I'm gonna go read some more. I'll probably give you guys another update when I finished it now, because I think I'm just gonna zoom right through this. And once I finished it, I'll let you guys know my final thoughts on some stuff that's happened that's obviously not spoilery. And yeah, I'm gonna go now and continue reading this. Hey guys, so I finished reading Hetty Acton's Begin Again. I actually finished reading this about 4 days ago, and I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the concept of what the author was doing. It does have that similar take, like I said, with Midnight Library. It's just very lighter, it's more fun. And yeah, like I said, I gave this 4 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star. I did feel like it was a 5 stars at first, but then I settled on 4 stars. I'm just really strict when it comes to giving 5 stars. Where we left off was I believe that I was explaining what the book's about and how she gets a chance to relive 4 different crossroads in her life where she could make different chances. And one of them is if she had said yes to the proposal, one if she did the one-way flight, and then we have these 2 other ones. I really enjoyed going into like those lives where she has to live there for like 24 hours and see if she likes it, would she want to continue living that life. It was just like a lot of fun to experience it and see how things would have been different for her. And of course, something that I think the author did really well is that none of these lives are completely perfect, because that's just impossible. But what makes this book like so much fun is I think we've all had that question of like, what if I had chose differently? What if I had said yes to that instead of like saying no? What if I'd gone that way instead of this way? And yeah, it's just really fun. I really enjoy Hedy Acton's writing. Like I said, I believe I said in the intro, I have read her books before, and one was a 5-star, one was a 3, which wasn't great. But after hearing about this book and how fun it sounded, I had to pick it up, and I'm really glad I have. I will definitely read more from this author in the future. Her writing is really good. Her characters are written really well. Like Frankie's character really struggles with having faith in making these choices, because she always thinks that if she makes a choice, it's going to be much worse, and she's sort of like stuck and thinking, and that's what kind of stops her from making certain choices. I think a lot of people can definitely relate to the character Frankie as well. Like I know like I can in some aspect where, you know, it is scary sometimes to make a different choice. And I love the way that the character grew throughout this book, and highly recommend it if you're looking for something like The Midnight Library that's a lot lighter, a lot more fun, that will have you laughing, it's enjoyable. Then I definitely recommend picking up Begin Again by Hedy Acton. So technically I should be going away and reading some, you know, another book and coming back and giving you guys an update, but because my F&D hasn't been great, I sort of just been in bed, which means I actually started and finished another book, so I'm sorry. And that book was The 7-Year Slip. One of the reasons I picked up this book is just because it's very different to a lot of other books. In this book, we're following this character called Clementine, which I love that name so much. Clementine's auntie has passed away 6 months ago, and she's now got to move into her apartment. Her auntie told her when she was little that the apartment is sort of magical, and obviously now that she's older, she don't believe that. Like, of course she doesn't. She's like, whatever. So Clementine is moving into his apartment. She's still struggling with the loss of her auntie because they sort of did everything together. They went traveling all the time, and she falls asleep on the sofa, wakes up to a guy being like, excuse me, and of course you would freak out. There's a guy in your apartment, don't know who he is, and he's saying that the aunt leased the apartment to him while she's away. Obviously, Clementine's like, excuse me, like my aunt's dead. She don't say that, but you know, these are the thoughts running through her head, like what's going on? Until he like produces a letter that's actually the act he's writing, and then she starts to realise that the apartment is different. It's how it was a few years back, and all her stuff isn't there. So it turns out that this apartment can time travel. Sometimes it will try and travel back into the past 7 years, or it will stay in the current time. It just depends. And right now the apartment is time traveled back 7 years ago. Clementine is now living in the past, and this guy is basically from 7 years ago, although for him it's currently that time zone. And I mean, this is just the perfect situation for a romance book about a character who falls in love with a guy from the past. And obviously in her time, you know, it's been 7 years since they saw each other, so there's that big time gap. She doesn't know if this guy even exists. Well, he obviously exists, but she don't know if he's alive still, what he's doing, if he's got someone out there, if she would even be able to find him, because she does try. I ain't gonna spoil it. At first, she wants her partner to go back to like the current time, you know, until she realises that by being back in the 7-year time thing, I hope I'm explaining this right. By being in the apartment when it's back in time 7 years ago, she realises that her auntie's still alive, and I guess she has this like little bit of hope that maybe she can stay in this time zone just for a while. And over time, this romance starts to grow between these two characters, and Clementine starts to remember how auntie's was, that where she's in an apartment and never fall in love. We actually do get a story from the auntie. Like Clementine is telling us the story that her auntie told her, how when auntie first moved into the apartment, the same thing happened to her. She came in, there was a woman sitting there feeding the pigeons outside of her window, and the woman's like, oh, it's happened again. And the woman explains how the apartment can sort of like time travel. And the auntie fell in love with this woman, but in the end let her go and just ended up completely heartbroken because it couldn't possibly work. And Clementine's definitely not sticking to that role despite her trying. This book was just magical and whimsical and beautifully written. I absolutely love the character Clementine and the main character, the guy. I've already forgotten his name because I'm just that bad at remembering names. I loved the friendship group. I loved that Clementine had her own situations of trying to work out what she wants to do in life. and still trying to deal with the fact that our auntie's gone. And I loved our main character as well, who was a chef. I love that, a chef in a book. Like, yes, I wish my boyfriend was a chef, but he's not. He just cooks me like rice and chicken slices that you get for sandwiches. Yeah, that's what we're having today. Sounds great, don't it? Appreciate it then. So yeah, I pretty much binged this book in 2 days. Sorry I didn't give you an update halfway through, but I loved it. I absolutely loved the romance in this book. There's so much, I don't want to say too much like about certain things that I could tell you guys that I don't feel like it's a spoiler, but then I'm like, I went into this book not knowing about it, so I feel like it is a spoiler. But the romance and the way it develops and what happens is just so sorry. It's just so beautifully written, and it's just such a beautiful idea for a romance. I definitely think that in the future I'm going to be picking up way more books from this author because she just writes such unique romances. But this one was a 5-star. I'm giving it a 5-star because I loved it that much. I was not expecting this to be a 5-star, if I'm being honest. I thought it was probably going to be a 4-star, but the more and more I read this book, the more I fell in love with it. I fell in love with just the idea of what this author had done. And again, another book that I'm going to recommend. If you guys have not picked this up yet, please go pick it up. It is so good. So next up is either You With You or Real Day or Wrong Day. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to read next. I don't know if I'm like in the mood. I am also working on like another video, so I don't know if I'm going to read a book for that video and then come back to this. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard good things. This one I've heard a lot of good things about, and I've heard positive things about this one as well. So yeah, I'll let you guys know once I've got an update or maybe finished it. We'll see. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so it's almost midnight. I have been reading Real Day or Wrong Day. I've been reading it on and off for the last couple of hours. And I'm not loving it at the moment. Like, I am 88 pages. I'm like on chapter 7. And the thing is, it's like I just don't have a connection with these characters yet. Like, I don't care really too much about them. Like, the first bit of the book is kind of really focused on their job. And it's just like a lot of detail. Like, you know, like, I don't know. I just find them like, it's like I can't be invested in their romance. So this is a second chance romance, enemies to lovers. I normally really enjoy second chance romance as long as I have like backstory basically for the two characters, right? But with this, we've not got it. Well, hear me out. I'll explain the next bit in a minute. So up until the chapter I just read, I just felt like a little bit disconnected to the story. So in this book, we're following these two characters on screen. Their characters are supposed to be madly in love. They've been filming, I think, 6 seasons. I think she's come back to film the last season because she left, but it didn't go well with like the job that she just got like a new movie. So she's come back now to do the final season. And yeah, they don't like each other. They do not get along. There's a lot of like animosity. Am I saying that right? I am not saying that right. I hope you know what I mean. It's late, I'm tired. So yeah, there's like a lot of tension between the two characters, right? Because of what's happened in the past. Being almost 100 pages in and not really having too much information was a little bit annoying. But I just found generally the characters quite annoying. Like, I was just like, I don't really care. However, the book just got a little bit interesting. A little bit. Because we just had a flashback to, I think, how many years ago was it? Like, it's basically flashback to like 7 years ago to what happened with them. And our main girl, is it Lila? I think she's a little bit of a bitch. Like, her reaction. But then again, saying that, I think she just, for her, what they had was just like, you know, bedroom stuff. And it wasn't serious. And now, you know, she's hurt based on some stuff that's happening. So I think that's definitely was feelings there. So I can understand like the tension. I can understand now in the present day why there's this tension between the two. And I'm hoping now that the book will pick up and get better. Because right now I'm not loving it, and I'm even thinking about DNFing this. Like, I love this cover, by the way. So I really want to enjoy this book. And I've seen mixed reviews. Like, a lot of people on TikTok love it, but then on Books Around there's a lot of people giving it 3 stars, which isn't a bad rating. But I'm hoping it picks up now, because otherwise I don't really know if in like the next couple of chapters I'm not enjoying it still. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't like forcing myself to read something I'm not enjoying, but I really want to enjoy this. So I'm really like trying to push through it. And I guess I'll let you guys know an update either when I've read like a little bit more on my decision, or maybe when I finished it, maybe it'll end up being like a 4 or 5 star. I really don't see it being a 5 star, to be honest. Maybe it'll get a 4. You know, the best case would be a 3 star, right? And not end up being a DNF. So yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more tonight because my partner's doing a night shift, so I'm not even tired yet. I will probably just read a little bit more, see how I feel, and I'll let you guys know. So I will see you soon. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days since I last updated you. I tried to read a little bit more of Will They or Won't They, and it didn't get any better for me. I just felt really disconnected from the story and the characters. I wasn't really interested. I was hoping that I could build like a connection to the characters at least. Then, you know, if the story wasn't as good, you're still somewhat interested. But I couldn't care less, to be honest. I really don't care about the characters as they end up together. I didn't care about the story. And I've just decided that the best option is for me to just DNF this and move on. Because it was kind of putting me into a reading slump, and my reading hasn't been that great this month. I mean, I'm literally on my 3rd book, not including this. So yeah, I just didn't want to get into a reading slump. I'm wasn't really enjoying it, honestly. Like, I do now understand some of the negative reviews regarding this book. I was really hoping that I would, but yeah, I'm just gonna say that I found this quite boring and dull, and the characters, to be honest, could have been developed a little bit better. We're just gonna move on past this because I really don't have anything else to say other than like, I'm sending this back and we're gonna move on from it forever. However, the other night I did start the final book for this video, and that is You With A Few. I am about 92 pages into this book, so I'm almost 100 pages into this book, and I am loving it. I am absolutely loving this book so much. In this book, we've got this character called Noelle, whose grandmother died a little while back and she's really struggling. Her and her grandmother were like best friends. Now, in the, you know, aftermath of her grandmother's death, she was going through some boxes and she found an envelope. Inside this envelope is a letter from a man named Paul and some photos. Noelle never even knew who this man was. Her grandma didn't tell her, and in this letter they're talking about eloping. So it seems that her grandmother had this first great love that she's never spoken about, and Noelle wants to discover, you know, her grandma's story. She's kind of upset that the grandma never told her. They shared a lot together. So she makes this TikTok video asking, you know, people if they know who this guy is, and then one day she receives a comment saying that's my granddad. So she arranges to meet up with them. When she gets there though, the grandson to the guy Paul, the granddad, is none other than her arch enemies. Arch enemies, thanks. God, we're even there, are they? So her arch enemies. Oh my God, you know what? It's the guy she doesn't like, okay? So this guy at school and college was pretty much like her enemy. They're both like really smart, and I think that they just butt heads because they're just too similar in my opinion. However, anyway, the story of her, you know, trying to discover her grandmother's like past love and meeting this guy Paul, who is so sweet, by the way. It's just so good. We haven't even got into the romance story between our main character and I'm guessing, you know, her enemy yet. And I don't care because I'm just having such a great time reading it. It's so sweet. It feels cozy, and our character's about to go on this road trip. She's basically going to go on her grandmother's road trip she had planned out that she's going to do for her honeymoon. That never happened, and Paul, the old guy, has decided that he wants to go as well, and I was like, yes. And then the grandson's just like, I'm coming too, and obviously Noelle's like, oh great. But I think this book's just going to get a whole lot better. I think it's going to become so much more fun. I am looking forward to seeing how the relationship between Noelle and, what is his name? I'm so bad at remembering characters' names. It's actually Theo. It's Theo. So I can't really see how the relationship grows between Noelle and Theo. Also, I can't really see more of Paul because he's such a sweetheart. All I've seen is nothing but positive reviews about this book. So yeah, I'm gonna go away and read. Mate, I should, like, why am I trying? It's late, okay, I'm tired. As I was trying to say, I'm gonna go away and read more of this book. I don't know how much I'm gonna get read tonight, but I do want to get a bit more read of this, and I'm hoping that I can finish it tomorrow. And if, you know, when I have, I will let you guys know my final thoughts and my review. I am predicting this to be a 5 star. I mean, are we lucky enough to get another 5 star in this video? Maybe. I mean, come on. The cover, the story, the characters so far are so good. I'm predicting it. I'm saying it now that this could be a 5 star. If it's not, I will be shocked. But yeah, I'm gonna go and read some, and I will give you guys an update once I have either reached maybe 200 pages or I finished. Hey guys, so it's been about a week since I last updated you guys with a few. I've been picking this book like on and off and reading it. I just haven't been very well, which is why, by the way, my hair looks a mess right now. I haven't got the energy to straighten it. Oh my god, hold on. Can you let him off the windowsill? Let him off the windowsill. Irvin, make Klaus let him off the windowsill. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, my cats, like, they're just, I don't know what's wrong with them. Anyway, last time I updated you guys, I was really enjoying this book. I predicted that this is going to be a 5 stars. It wasn't. I give this book a 3.5 star because the more I read it, the more disinterested I got, and I feel like that happened when the main characters got, like, their romance started happening. I just wasn't interested in the romance like I thought I was going to be. Thing is, I really enjoyed it at the beginning, you know, like the whole animosity between the two characters and that sort of thing. And then when it actually happened, I don't know, part of me was like, that's too quick. I just don't feel it. Like, I just don't feel the build up. Like, I really didn't feel that build up between it happening, like them starting to like each other. Like, I feel like they always did, but there's obviously that animosity between them that they're like constantly bickering because they're too similar. One thing though I'll say I do like about this book was the whole reason that Noelle goes on this road trip. I think it's a really sweet little story of her just trying to discover her grandma's story that her grandma never told her. I love the character Paul, which is the granddad of Theo. I think he was adorable. Oh my god, can you stop smacking him in the face? Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, I kind of, as well with the road trip stuff, I wanted more of that. Like, I don't like to compare, but Beth O'Leary's book Road Trip, I felt like I had more of that road trip vibe, and this, even though they're stopping off in places, I just didn't, I don't know, something was lacking. Now I don't know if I can blame the book or it's when I was sick, that's why, so it's really hard to like know, but I just know that I did start to lose interest in this book and I wasn't really enjoying it anymore, and I just wanted to get it finished. So yeah, I gave it a 3.5 stars because it wasn't the worst book I've read. It was actually pretty good. There were moments in this book that I loved. I actually enjoyed the character. Sorry, my cats, I'm having to watch them because they're just winding each other up. Can you know? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, like, this is the worst. I'm trying to update people. Like, do you mind? I'm trying to film. So all in all, I think this is a really cute little read for summer. I've heard so many good things about this book. I am a little bit disappointed that this didn't end up being a 5 star, but it is what it is, you know, not badly written or anything like that. I just think that the romance for me just didn't work, and this is a romance book at the end of the day, and the romance needs to work to be able to, like, you know, get a higher rating. So yeah, 3.5 stars. I am, like I said, a little disappointed, and I'd say that though this video wasn't a complete fail. I mean, we had a 4 star with Hedy Acton's Begin Again. We had a 5 star with the 7 Year Slip, which I am so happy that we found a 5 star. We then had a DNF, which isn't so great, and then we had a 3.5 star. So the last 2 books, you know, of this reading vlog haven't been great, but at the same time, I'm actually really happy that we found a new favourite. So yay! You guys need to let me know if you've read any of these. Did you have the same thoughts on it? Did you have different thoughts? Let me know. Did you enjoy maybe a book that I DNF'd, or did you give this one a higher rating than what I gave it? Have you read the ones that I loved that you didn't? Or let me know in the comments some 2023 releases that you've read that you think I like, and I might check them out. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. It would mean the world to me, and subscribe, and until next time, bye.